I'm honored to present poems written by poets from all around the world in support for Iranian people that are fighting for their freedom. To begin, we will hear music, Taiwanese music, by Master Lo. He is a poet and he is an erhu player. And he will play for you a very special song written in Taiwan during the 40 years of white terror in support to all the blacklisted people.
日战结束了后，1947年，国民党政府接受台湾，因为政治腐败、为非三做，来发生不幸的228事件，刷落独裁戒严38年56天，一寡主张台湾独立主体的知识分子流亡在国外，未当转来，被列入黑名单。因伫国外若想到台湾，想到故乡，拢会唱这条黄昏的故乡。
Sono Francesca Ribacchi, da Roma. Leggerò la mia poesia Ceneri. Ceneri, ala nera, mortale, distesa in sottile membrana dal buio profondo. Cieca nel vuoto, accechi l'ultimo dolore che muta in luce e sei stracciata da voci interiori di fiamme risorte da ceneri vive.
Cendre, il y a une lumière. Sous la cendre, il y a une lumière pour chasser les ténèbres. Sous la cendre, il y a une lumière pour apaiser les cœurs en larmes. Sous la cendre, il y a une lumière pour affliger les bourreaux. Sous la cendre, il y a une lumière pour réveiller l'espérance. Sous la cendre, il y a une lumière pour éclairer demain. Alors, s'ouvriront grandes les ailes à en toucher les étoiles. l'avenir est une hirondelle.
Hello, I'm Wu Mingjuan. I'm from Taiwan. I'm Taiwanese poet. I write the poetry for Iranian people who they are fighting for their freedom. And now I will read like Chinese and English. 未开的花苞在轰然巨响中坠落，无缘瞥见花朵绽放的世界。未开的花苞在无声的空气中拉扯，被行刑似的摘除。请把盛开的季节还给我，请把长发飘逸的笑颜还给我，请把生而为人的自由还给我，请不要以神之名行恶魔之事。被头巾沉闷包覆的，足以让整个国家窒息。请聆听良知成为战鼓，而你坚守着的，竟在细雨的寒风中应声掉落。猫头鹰传来绵长的叹息，哀悼那未尽之梦。Unblown boughs fall amid thunders roll, denied even a glimpse of a word in blossom. Unblowed boughs are turned within silent air, blot away like an execution. Return to me the season of full bloom. Return to me the smile face, hair falling free. Return to me the freedom of being human. Do not command demonic act in the name of God. Wrapped in the suffocating weight of a headscarf, enough to choke an entire nation. Listen. Conscious turn into a war drum, and what you claim to stand firm for fall on cue into the cold wind of drizzling rain, and on, delivering a long lingering sigh, mooring a dream live unfinished.
Close your eyes, no need to fear. If serene will against your ear, sow the seed in earth and wait. To count the blooms, no wall of hate, let them flower, wild and spread. Not under iron tanks, cold tracks. Poet verse, and carpenter build. Scholar map the studied field. Forget the spear, forget the shield. And the sharp words that conflicts yield. Waste time on beauty, useless grace. Watch the sunset, claim its space. Read your sonnet deep and deep, then fall into a peaceful sleep.
Per Benjamin e per la sua famiglia. Terra di vento e melograni, dove il deserto impara a cantare e le montagne cullano il tempo. Tra resti antiche e nuove albe, tu respiri ancora. Luce ostinata sei, nel cuore della notte. Land of wine and pomegranates, where the desert lands to sing and the mountains cradle time. Among ancient remains and you dance, you still breathe. Starborn light, you are in the heart of the night. Emanuele Rizzo.
Persian eyes. The first time I saw Persian's eyes was at a photography exhibition by a French friend. This year, I saw Persian eyes again, watching the news, beneath black veils, in the middle of an endless massacre. I searched on the web and discovered that more than 1,000 years ago, their eyes saw flames illuminating truth, the light of God, and they saw the rise and fall of dynasties, holy texts rewritten out of fear. Theocracy wears black robes. In the phantom of the red dragon and the whispers of Satan compromising with the darkness, God became a tool for domination that walks behind the altar. I pray, the true God, to remain in their eyes, like an ever-burning fire, awaiting the return of the Persian God to once again speak the names of light and good thoughts.
I'm Marilyn Bertoncini, reading from Nice in France. This is my poem in support of the people in Iran fighting for their democracy and their liberty. I read it first in French and then in English. And this is the beginning. Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Edgar Allan Poe, The Raven. Darkness, darkness over all. C'est un voile de ténèbres qui recouvre le monde, comme les ailes géantes d'un corbeau maléfique, et son ombre s'étend et pénètre les cœurs. Darkness, darkness over all. Et l'effroi glace au sang dans l'attente du pire, et pénètre les os et vrille les cerveaux, et chacun dans sa peur se sent seul et fragile. Darkness, darkness over all. Mais une voix s'élève et repousse la peur. Une femme se dresse et dénude son cœur, et les hommes s'unissent pour affronter la bête. Et leur sang répandu ne coule pas en vain. Que la peur se retourne et chasse les ténèbres, qu'unis en tout pays nous retrouvions la paix. Darkness, darkness, nevermore. A veil of darkness covers up the world, like the giant wings of an evil raven, and its shadow spreads and pierces hearts. Darkness, darkness over all, and terror chills the blood, waiting for the worst, and penetrates bones and twists brains, and each in their fear feels alone and weak. Darkness, darkness over all. But a voice is rising, and it ripples fear. A woman stands up and exposes her heart, and men join forces to confront the beast. And their shed blood does not flow in vain. May fear turn back and banish the darkness. May we, united all over the world, find peace. Darkness, darkness, nevermore.
主啊，求你伸出全能的手，让施暴者失去能力， 镇压如烟消失，平安自由降临。女孩展现美丽笑靥，小孩快乐嬉戏，父母紧紧拥抱海外归乡的游子。
By Rebecca Borge. Over my dead body. Over my dead body, will you no longer tremble? Over my dead body nevermore. The sun flashes on the lions in the street. Each ray glistens on their skin and hair. The wind caresses their necks, lifts their feet. It drives them, moves them forward, closing in on their prey. The fire in their eyes can no longer be extinguished. They say, "Youth around." Now you find out. Too many of their pack were hunted down. Now a father trades a live body for the corpse of his son. He heard a moan from a bag, a neighbor's wounded cub, and knows his own cub's roar will never shake the earth again. So he carries home another lion's cub. A general's daughter defies his patriarchal snare. He beat her with a button. He dared to let them hear her roar. He hides behind a borrowed name as she exposes the hunter's lies. But she says she's really Masa Amini. And every lion's daughter they slaughter and despise. The hunters display their trophies, hung on crane for all to see. They keep some bodies of the dead lioness to blame another pack when they will strike. It's their twisted strategy. The hunters admit bringing 6,000 to their end, but truth is not a language their mouths know to defend. The hunter's math is undone, for they count 100 as one. They violate the lioness, believing purity brings grace, Jannah, to bring them to damnation in a dark, forgotten place, Jahannam. Over my dead body, no longer will this be done. The lions now rise as one. The diaspora assimilated to where they trade. Yet they will populate the land when the hunter's reign has flamed. The lion pride belongs to this land, the hunter's aunt of this band. Appeasement to the hunters will not buy safety. It only exports brutality. The lions do not care tools. The sun, wind, and fire are their guide. They carry a heart wide open by their side. They have nothing left to lose. Over my dead body, their reign I now refuse. The lions will dance on the hunter's grave. The lions will sing on the hunter's grave. The lions will split on the hunter's graves. They will defecate on the hunter's graves. Then they'll have a picnic and live happily ever after.
The Persian's Empress. In Washington, Iran's Empress is weeping, her tears frozen on the buds of cherry trees. In silence, she passes by, traces of a royal silhouette reflected on the Potomac River, calling to the Persians. Her deep sigh, piercing the bloody horizon like tunes of a forgotten tar, an avaz improvised in exile, repeating again and again the high-pitched sound of torture, of suffering, of pain. There is blood on the streets of Tehran. My people are massacred, she cries, and the cherry trees tremble. Wounded ruins of Persepolis. Until when are the children of Iran mutilated, the women reduced to silence, veiled Persians' eyes? For how much longer is the enthusiasm of the youth sentenced to death? Their dreams hanged in the market. The Empress of Persians is standing with her people. Don't give up. Resist. Pahlavi will return. This is the final battle. Young children call her home. Blindfolded Persians call for their Shah. Through darkness, they find their Empress of the blooming season. A prophecy. Thus spoke Zarathustra.
Espérant la victoire. Mon amour tyran, chaque jour tu t'inquiètes pour ton pays, pour ta famille et nos amis. L'Iran est plongé dans la nuit la plus sombre. Quand la lumière reviendra-t-elle? Ma sœur d'Iran, ils ont effacé ta voix, mais tu es plus forte que moi. Mon frère d'Iran, ensemble, avec nos sœurs, tu manifestes pour votre liberté. Vous tous portez les cicatrices des pires tortures. J'ai entendu vos voix, j'ai entendu que c'est à nous de devenir votre voix. Le monde doit savoir qu'avec ou sans son aide, la victoire du peuple iranien est proche. به پیروزی عشق ایرانیم تو هر روز نگرانی برای وطنت خانواده‌ات و دوستانت ایران در سریع‌ترین تاریکی‌ها غرق شده است نور کی برمیگردد خواهر ایرانیم صدای تو را پاک کرده اند ولی تو قوی‌تر از منی برادر ایرانیم با خواهران ایمان برای آزادیتان اعتراض میکنی همگی زخم‌های بدترین شکنجه ها را دارید صدایتان را شنیدم که باید صدای شما باشیم دنیا باید بداند که با یا بی کمکش پیروزی ایرانی ها نزدیک است Hoping for victory. My Iranian love, every day you're worried about your homeland, about your family and friends. Iran is plunged into the darkest night. When will the light come back? My Iranian sister, dare raise your voice, but you're stronger than me. My Iranian brother, together with our sisters, you're demonstrating for your freedom. All of you carry the scars of the worst tortures. I've heard your voices. I've heard that we must become your voice. The world must know that, with or without its help, the victory of Iranian people is near.
My name is Oscar René Benitez. I am a poet from El Salvador, and I'm going to recite a poem in solidarity with the people from Iran. The poem is titled The Night of Weeping. Life is a flickering flame, frail and ephemeral on the night of weeping. Collective consciousness suddenly becomes a shriek, a groan, and the terrifying lament becomes a cry, a resounding of protesting voices. Scorching fire extinguishing the rain, tears and bodies falling, children, women, men, teenagers, death roams the streets, and Iran violently sacrificing those who carry love as their banner. Life is a flickering flame, frail and ephemeral on the night of weeping. The blood of innocent people is a torrent, of children, of mothers, of the elderly, painting the streets deep red, and the pain is a massacred multitude. Echoes of the people's pain resound. They have transcended consciousness and borders. The solidarity of the world's peoples knows no distance and pours forth fully, joining the cry of the masses in the streets and giving voice, hands, and tears to the fallen. My solidarity with the people of Iran. Thank you.
The costs of living. The prices of food have gone up. The bazaars have closed in protest, and you cannot afford to keep your family fed. The prices of online connections have been paid, yet the information blackout tries to silence you. Your pain are still audible through the ether. The price of freedom is not free, but it should never be included in the costs of living. 生活成本。食品价格上涨，市集关闭已是抗议，你已无力养活家人。网络费用已付，但资讯封锁试图让你晋升。你的痛苦仍能透过虚空听到。自由的价钱并非免费，但它永远不应该被计入生活成本之中。
Mia colpa, mia grandissima colpa. Vomita, sorella, parole e semi in attesa di fuoco, reclama una lingua di sinapsi e un giardino nel cavo della bocca. Non ero io l'ombra senza voce, il silenzio che attraversa i muri. Non ero io a capo chino, dietro le grate chiuse. Non ero io a partorire nel nulla. Mi hanno rubato il nome, mi hanno rubato il cranio. Reclamo, roboante, il lutto, l'assenza nominata. Non chiamatelo silenzio. La voce delle ossa custodisce nomi cancellati, ginocchia, capelli, voci, cicatrici minime. Ero io la donna delle pulizie, l'insegnante, la fuggitiva, l'internata, l'amante segreta, quella bruciata sul rogo. Se è vero che gli squarci aprono la luce, lo squarcio sono io, corpo che attraversa le suture, che ricorda, che revoca il potere. Ci sono vene che pulsano sotto questi versi, un coro di voci intrecciate, resistono. Io sono memoria di cellula, trilione di soli splendenti.
Eh bien, bonjour à toutes et à tous. Voilà, c'est à l'appel et à l'initiative d'Elisabeth Guyon-Spenato que je voudrais vous lire quelques extraits de Litanie du Verbe. Donc je voudrais, en hommage à tous les peuples qui souffrent actuellement au péril de leur vie, et beaucoup en meurent d'ailleurs, des théocraties et des régimes totalitaires, sous prétexte que certains détiennent la vérité. Je pense surtout aux femmes et aux enfants qui sont exposés doublement au massacre et au sacrifice. Ne voyez dans cette lecture aucune action politique, mais juste une dimension poétique, en espérant que l'homme un jour ouvre son cœur à la douceur et à la beauté d'une terre pour tous. Aujourd'hui, on a vendu des nouveau-nés, retourné des innocents dans des bouges et des caves. La moisissure des draps les couvre de nuits vertes. Leurs yeux cherchent une brèche pour jouer dans les fleurs. Dans des couloirs sans fin, on a cousu des femmes Des vipères s'acharnent sur leurs lèvres humides, leurs mâchoires enserrent le courant du plaisir. L'air manque tout à coup. Il pleut, averse, des oiseaux gelés, des insectes mutants, des dieux colériques et borgnes. Le sucre de la pluie se tait. Le ciel replie ses anges comme un vêtement blanc qui ne servira plus. Nous croyons que tous mangent à leur faim, que leur soif s'étanche, que leur plaie cicatrice, et pourtant quand nos yeux percent l'obscurité, nous distinguons leurs têtes aux orbites noyées dans le lait de l'orgie qui caille avec le sang. Hommes, revisitez votre nuit avec des torches vives, avancez dans le vent sans cracher, orgueil retroussé jusqu'au cou, et à la belle étoile, comme des marionnettes impudiques, usez vos fils pour le voyage. Entre les draperies de l'aube, déployant ses tentes, et le crépuscule qui éclabousse de pourpre et de vive orangée, la courbe caressant l'autre côté du monde. Merci Elisabeth.
I am Taiwanese poet Lin Lu. Now I recite my poem for the women of Iran. Remove the black mask. Give me back my face as I was born. I am a woman of dignity. Your guests shouldn't carry even a trace of desire. Remove the black mask. Give me back my face as I was born. I am a sacred woman. You should cherish the mother of every man. 还我一张脸，取下黑色的面罩，还我一张天生的脸。我是尊贵的女人，你的眼神不该有半点邪念。取下黑色的面罩，还我一张天生的脸。我是神圣的女人，你们应该爱惜所有男人的母亲。
안녕하십니까. 나는 한국 시인 강병철 박사입니다. 이란이 민주화의 길로 나가고 국민들이 생명과 재산이 안전하게 지켜지기를 바랍니다. 그리고 나의 친구 엘리자베스 귀용 스페나토의 가족들이 안전하고 행복하게 살기를 기원합니다. 새처럼 경계 없는 자유를 위하여. 매는 어둠 위를 맴돌고 철권이 통치는 자기 두려움 속에서 스스로 갈라진다. 폐허의 심장에서도 세계의 시인들은 함께 외친다. 페르시아의 후손들과 함께. 지금이다. 지금 깨어날 시간이다. 새처럼 자유롭게 바람처럼 구름처럼 경계 없는 자유를 위하여. Toward borderless freedom like a bird. The falcon circles above the dark, and iron rule cracks within its own fear. Even in the heart of rains, the poets of the world cry out together with the descendants of Persia. Now is the time. Now is the time to awaken. Be free like a bird, like the wind, like the clouds, for borderless freedom. Thank you very much.
不易点算，从德黑兰到鄂尔布尔市的山脊，再到科尔曼沙赫省，他的脚步声被雨洗濯，总在无人之地舔一口尸体渗出的血，那仍然是早晨咖啡的温度。拉扎维霍拉桑的尸物里有一群模糊的抗议群众，他扶了扶士兵的枪口，瞄准胸口，对其 发射。科吉卢耶博韦艾哈迈德省中央空地，他告诉指挥官，来领取遗体的亲属得换一个故事，那些死者必须是执勤殉职的巴斯基民兵。卡赫里扎克的法医中心，一座露天的停尸场，白光一层一层，大型货卡卸下尸体，金属与骨骼相互校准，扎实的工艺与生活，一股由衷的踏实感。还有一个区域专门停放女性的尸体，干尸排列得很安静。这座静谧的庭院里头有美丽的散弹枪弹丸，在皮肤上形成的抽象艺术，以及惨白乳房上贴着的心电贴图，多么精致的花纹！他想家了，他回到德黑兰的北部，萨阿德奥巴德宫殿区，那里松树笔直，地毯柔软。他唯一的烦恼是那名来自外部世界的童子军，那孩子手中没有数字。他又来敲门问了一次，人数是多少？唉，我希望你能理解，人类的尸体一向堆叠得很好，只是不易点算。Hard to count. From Tehran to the ridges of Arabs, then on to Kamasha. His footsteps thinned by rain. In no man's land he leaves a drop of blood sipping from a corpse. It's still as warm as the morning cafe. In the damp fog of Razavi Khorasan, a blur of protesters, he adjusts the soldiers' gun barrels. Chest, a line, then fire. In Kajaluye, Boyer, Ahmad, an open central ground, he tells the commander, relatives who come to claim the bodies need to change the story. The dead must be recorded as besieged militiamen killed in the line of duty. Karizak Forensic Center, an open-air morgue. White light layered upon layer. Large trunks are unloading bodies. Mental and bones are calibrated to each other. Solid craft, a way of life, a sincere sense of reassurance. And there is another area, reserved for women's body. The dry corpses lie in quiet rows, this tropical country yard where beautiful shotgun pellet scatter forms abstract art on the skin, and where, on those pellet breasts, electrocardiogram plates remain. How exquisite patterns! Then he feels homesick. Go back to northern Tehran, the Saad Bey Palace complex, where pine trees upright, carpet soft. His only annoyance is a Boy Scout from the outside world. That child has no numbers. Nothing again to ask. How many? Oh dear, I hope you understand. Human bodies stack so well, but just hard to count.
To an Iranian friend. Gunshots everywhere. I know that their weapons are aimed at their own people. At the moment, they have locked everything down. There is an internet shutdown, and it is impossible to call the rest of the world for help. High walls are erected for more totalitarianism, and the door is closed. The blasts of the assault rifles echo the cries of families. I cannot see what tomorrow will be. Night has taken us by surprise. I'm alone, desperate, and my anxiety is stirred up by the lights beyond the seas. Oh, my Iranian friend. He speaks calmly, but I'm sure his heart is consumed by grief. I don't dare question him. The barrel of the rifle against my chest is ready to fire at any moment. Humanity, dictators are leading soldiers. If I start shouting loudly, where I suffer the same fate in the infernal circle of history, exacted by fairies scout. 来自伊朗的友人，炮火声四起，我知道，枪口抵住了自己的人民。此刻，封锁再封锁，断联的网路无法与外界呼救，高墙构筑更高的集权。关起大门，枪声回荡至哭泣家人。我看不到明天，夜晚袭来，孤单绝望的牵挂一直在海外灯火中点燃。啊，来自伊朗的友人，他说话自若，忧伤肯定在内心燃烧。我不敢探问，枪口也堵住胸口，随时会发射。人性，集权者操纵军人。当我大声尖叫，会不会在回圈的历史时间中接受命运一再枪毙？
Sono qui per esprimere la mia solidarietà al popolo iraniano in questi giorni veramente bui. I'm here to express my solidarity with the Iranian people in these dark days. E leggerò una poesia in italiano e in inglese. Sacchi neri. Sacchi neri imparano a tacere le strade, i nomi cadono prima dei corpi, inghiottiti da sacchi neri. Mani legate sanno ancora la forma del sangak, la voce del figlio quando sorride. Resta una scarpa senza passo, un grido senza bocca, la notte. Black bags, the streets learn the silence. Nameless fall before bodies, swallowed by black bags. Bound hands still know the shape of sangak, the child's voice when he smiles. Left behind, a shoe without a step, a scream without a mouth. The night.
Marie-Lise Leroux. C'est moi, vous m'avez reconnu. La liberté a une patte. L'autre, je l'ai perdue un jour de mauvaise chance. Si vous la retrouvez, rapportez-la moi. J'en ferai un étendard pour demain. Here I am. You've recognized me. I am the one-legged freedom. The other leg, I lost it on an ill-fated day. Should you find it, then bring it back to me. I'll make it into a standard for tomorrow.
Sri Ilang Tan Kin Sun 打酷酷的风丝仔，伫伊朗高原驻居，千百冬来朴素的诗歌，点解调换地的情旋律，悠远点点仔生叹。宗教透放心灵音乐，变做歹心独行的灵旗，引导王朝自由复民，自底自在的查某囡仔，规身躯目睭睭。咧街头巷尾，无声无说，人心伫内，年久月深，必然车跋柄，毋免仰望阿独仔大军，你我伊。牵成咱两桶神秘的东墙铁壁，春光淡薄仔现身。
Hello, my friends, and all the poets, and the people of Iran. Here, I read to you my poem I wrote for the people of Iran. Iran, a sacred current of blood. Iran, when Scots letter, a history is not written in ink, but in ash, stone, blood, and oath. Long ago, from Pars and Ashan, Aryan footsteps emerged into the light, raising an empire as one raises a question for humankind: how to rule without crushing a human being. Cyprus rose in the heart of the desert, not only with the sword, but with an idea that even a conqueror must know how to give freedom back. Babylon fell. Jerusalem opened its gates, and history for the first time witnessed an empire that knew more than victory. Then time poured down like sand, burying human faces. The Sassanids faded. The fire of Zoroastrian faith dim in the winds of Islam. But Iran did not die. It entered poetry, entered mathematics, entered astronomy, entered every classical word the world would later borrow. The Safavids revealed a national body, chained face as one changes blood in order to survive. Shah followed Shahs, power growing taller than the human being, until 1979, when history turned its face again, sharp as a blade. Today, the people of Iran need no more myths. They need bread, clean water, and a morning unafraid of a knock on the door. O Iran, a people who once ruled Asia, who once paved roads for others to work. You were not born to dwell forever. No empire is eternal, but dignity is. No doctrine is more sacred than the right to breathe freely, to love, to live in peace as an ordinary human being. From the ashes of Persepolis to the tears of Tehran, we stand with you, the pure Iran. Live and live in peace. Thank you so much for listening.
À nos sœurs d'Iran. Elles avancent, unissant leur souffle, malgré leur voix qu'on étouffe. Elles avancent, le poing levé vers le ciel, malgré leur marche qu'on entrave. Leurs pas traversent les frontières, nous interpellent, et l'on répond oui à leur appel.
Hi, have a nice day. I am Nuria, Jian Ruiling from Taiwan. I will recite my poem for Iran in Mandarin. 在那儿，风不再被囚禁。在那儿，风不再被囚禁。在那座干渴山脉下，你不需要再向阴影借位。你的长发是黑色的大地，正从层层的丝绸中挣脱出一场雷雨。这座城市习惯了紧锁的门与低垂的眼，但广场上的火光比禁忌更红，比夜晚更安静，也更喧哗。当一个名字被写在风中，它就不再是耳语，而是一道划破寂静的闪电。自由不是远方的恩赐，它是你在巷弄间奔跑时肺部灼热的空气。它是他们试图修剪枝桠时，根部在土里无声而剧烈的交谈。我们在海的这一端看着，看那被禁止的歌声如何翻越围墙，看那些年轻的灵魂用纯粹的痛楚换取一个清晨的权利。在那儿，风只是风，天光不需要许可。我站在岛屿的风里，以母语的浪呼唤你，伊朗。Thank you.
Patrick Joquel, en lisant Le Monde, un 29 novembre. Marcher dans la rue, manifester, on dit, pour une liberté, pour dire halte aux soumissions, juste avec le corps, sans un mot, sans un cri. Les mots sont interdits. Les manifestants tiennent en main et bien haut une feuille blanche. Sur la grande place, ils sont là, face aux soldats, à leurs blindés. Certains tirent en l'air, ils ne bougent pas. Ils ont leur téléphone pour filmer, leur voix pour chanter, leur visage pour sourire. Ils ne veulent plus rien d'eux, sauf leur départ, qu'ils s'en aillent. Ils veulent vivre, libres. Reading Le Monde on the 29th of November. Walking down the street, demonstrating, they say, for freedom, to say, stop the submission. Just with their bodies, without a word, without a cry, words are forbidden. The demonstrators hold high in their hands a white sheet of paper. In the main square, they are there, facing the soldiers and their armored vehicles. Some fire into the air. They do not move. They have their phones to film, their voices to sing, their faces to smile. They want nothing more from them except for them to leave. To leave. They want to live free.
Hi, my dear poet friends. I'm Fang Yaoqian from Taiwan. The poem I'm going to read to you is titled The Rose of Muhammad. The poem is to support the people of Iran, help them live a happy, free, beloved life. And then I'm going to read it. The Rose of Muhammad. At night, I hold my country tight, as one would hold a frightened child. Between gunshots and weeping, I call back the morning by its childhood name, call back the fragrance of bread. The wind comes from Tehran, laden with reddened dusk and shattered dreams. With a mother's breast, I build a wall to keep up cold, to keep out hunger, to keep out the nameless fear. Since you are leaders, shepherds, parents of the people, you must bear the duty to feed and to protect them. Cover them with justice. Stand guard through the nights with peace, so that every lamp may sleep in safety. If you cannot, lay down your power and repent before heaven, before Allah, before God. Wash your hands clean with conscience. I do not fear life or death. Only the child wailings before my empty bowl. I do not fear life or death. Only the child startled awake by nightmares in the dark. Beneath the lavish blooms of the rose of Muhammad, let a nation relearn how to breathe. Freedom like a gentle breeze, peace like a fine rain, prosperity in the street, safety in every home, so that every child may wake at dawn to the scent of the breath and the sound of songs. And the next, I will read the Taiwan's news edition in my mother tongue's Taiwanese. Muhammad 玫瑰彭耀乾，我伫炮声的暗夜抱安我的国家，亲像我将我的囡仔揽安安，亲像伫庆声甲哭声之间，我用年名叫转来肉母光，叫转来面包的香。风对Tehran吹来，我用涨红的沙尘和破碎的梦。我用母亲的胸坎起一座墙，冻寒、冻枵、冻惊吓。恁既然是领袖，是牧者，是父母官，该当然有责任养饲人民，保护百姓，用正义为因加配，用和平守命，互每一拍安眠。恁若袂当，且卸下权柄，向天忏悔，伫阿拉、伫上帝面头前，用良知洗清双手。我毋惊死亡，毋惊囡仔伫空碗头前哀嚎。我毋惊刀枪，只惊囡仔伫暗夜含面惊醒。我要用慈爱做钱，斩断恐吓甲白贼的连锁。伫骄艳盛开的穆罕默德玫瑰之下，请互国家重新学会晓喘气。自由如微风，和平如幼雨，经济繁荣 家路安全，互每一个囡仔拢会当伫爸母讲的时，伫面泡芳甲歌声当中醒起来。Thank you for listening.
各位好，我是郑明克。以下我朗诵为伊朗人追求自由所写的诗。会对我们开枪吗？我和弟弟在商场，拿回空荡的食物架，整用账架，是离岸而又扁的。朋友说，我们买不起，又饿又渴，这场人情越来越多，一起失火。为什么买不起食物？人情一步一步往前，喊着潜力那么大，为什么弄得我们连食物都买不起？我们不要独裁者。有人脱下头巾，你能露出的眼睛亮得像星星。我看到神的光芒。为什么现在才看到神？那黑压压的军队忽然哗哗举起枪，弟弟战斗，他们会对我们开枪吗？我躲着弟弟说，不会。你看，坦克西娜在那里，他会听到我们真诚的呼唤。他们不会对亲友开枪。枪声中，朋友倒下，人群一步步往前奔跑。捡起石头丢向军人，怒吼：独裁者，去死！
大家好，我是台湾的谢必修，感谢伊丽莎白的邀请，让我们关心伊朗民众为了争取自由民主的活动而遭受血腥镇压的事件有表达的机会。现在我要朗读我写的写给伊朗的诗。曾经，你是我心中的神秘国度，有数千年的文化底蕴，可贵的世界遗产。曾经，你的国家神权与民主并存，慢慢的，有心政权以神权吞噬民主，对子民有诸多的社交与服饰的限制，主政者的野心孤注，导致经济崩溃，让人民的自由生活走入黑暗期，不再只是学生的浪漫理想，士农工商也无法忍受。终于有了争取改革的巨大声浪。曾经，我的国家人民也走过这样40年的黑暗时期，由一代一代的有志民主前辈同心协力， 坚持不放弃。因此，我相信以你们曾经横跨欧亚非三大洲的民族气魄，坚持持续奋斗，终有自由阳光普照。全球民主国家支持你们追求民主自由的行动。
Roses of Isfahan by Irina Moga. I'm towing the line with the Iranians this winter, right here, right now. We carry only this, a love of freedom, a love of poetry, and roses of Isfahan. How does one breathe without freedom? Enough is enough. Into these dark times, a new light will come, a day of blooming gardens, a day of joy. Let freedom ring, and may its sound bring forth the roses of Isfahan.
Les lumières inouïes. Il est des aurores n'accueillant pas tous les silences, selon que le cœur qui se tait soit dans d'aveugles chaînes ou ouvre son âme à l'horizon futur. Cette aurore éphémère en annoncera tellement qu'elle les fera naître depuis l'éclat de sa lumière. Sourds sont les silences aveuglés par la rage, ou l'ennui, ou le sommeil de l'entendement. Bienheureux celui qui s'apprête à scander le chant de la faim, de la servitude. Les flopées de lianes s'envolant dans le vent et la lumière, sans cesse renaissante. Telle la promesse jamais ensevelie, celle de voir les yeux qu'elle love devenir l'horizon, ouvert sans être offert, sur les aubes dont il est la racine. Les lignes de la vie s'écrivent ainsi, en contemplant longuement l'essence d'un peuple, se dévoilant aux âmes lucides. Ainsi s'ouvre la clairière, où renaissent des flots de lumière, des soleils à n'en plus finir. Que seuls les silencieux, aveuglés de rage, fuiront, eux qui fuient et que fuit la beauté, silencieux révélant leur âme moisie. Merci.
Femme, vie, liberté, donne, vita, libertà. Woman, life, freedom. Woman, life, freedom. Appliquez la cruauté à la cruauté du scorpion. Nous avons survécu à tous les venins. Mesurez-vous à la rumination du chameau. Nous savons traverser la plupart des déserts. Ne ligotez pas nos poignets, ils peuvent encercler des jours meilleurs. Éloignez-vous de nos corps, et ils n'ont rien à vous dire. Ils sont beaux, vivants, trop vivants peut-être pour vous. Ils secouent les cendres. Ils veulent échapper au feu du pouvoir, à l'hypnose du dogme. Nos bouches, nos bouches, regardez-les, pures, aguichantes ou féroces, plus féroces que vos tortures. Elles avaient le mot haine, en font leur otage, le cuisent dans des casseroles de langue. Admirez-les, tandis qu'elles soufflent sur la peur et sur le noyau de la peur et sur la peur de toutes les peurs. Nous décidons, nous, femmes, nous décidons. Nous décidons que nous décidons. Cela fait que la peur s'éloigne, très doucement, certes, mais elle s'éloigne.
Woman, life, freedom. Woman, life, freedom.
안녕하십니까. 한국 시인 양금희입니다. 이란 국민들이 자유와 평화를 찾기를 기원합니다. 새벽을 향한 외침. 지금 우리는 듣는다. 이란의 외침을. 먼 계곡에서 불어오는 바람처럼 먼지와 부서진 거리를 뒤로 하며 꺼지지 않는 희망의 목소리로 인류는 하나의 하늘 아래 평등하게 태어나 존엄과 빛을 향한 마음을 지니고 있다. 시대마다 인류는 사슬에서 벗어나 자유를 향하여 걸어갔다. 강물이 바다로 향하듯 희망은 새벽을 찾고 용기 있는 목소리로 나라들은 깨어난다. 이란도 이제 아침 속으로 걸어가 마침내 열린 빛 속에 서게 되리라. A cry toward dawn. Now we hear it, the cry of Iran, like wind rising from distant valleys, moving past dust and shackled streets, as a voice of hope that will not fade. Humanity is born equal, beneath one sky. Each heart shaped for dignity and right. Through every age, we have broken our chains and walked toward freedom. As rivers find the sea, hope seeks the dawn. With brave voice, nations awakens. Now Iran, too, steps into the morning to stand at last in open light. Thank you very much.
玫瑰的梦，夜夜你在梦中，张开眼睛看见玫瑰。日日你推开门窗，听到的却是哭泣。人们在和平鸽的歌声中入睡，却在枪的无影中醒来。独裁者酣睡在宫殿，做红色的梦。窗外，血色正在堆叠黎明。我抱着满怀玫瑰，在枪支成林的土地寻找栽种的空隙。
Enza Palamara. Je pense à vous, ami iranien, dont j'ai partagé les affres de l'exil, vous qui avez déroulé devant moi les délicatesses d'un monde légendaire de l'Orient lointain. Je pense à vous, merveilleux créateurs, dispersés à travers le monde, Farhad, Moani, Violette et tant d'autres. Votre constance est le signe de votre désarroi, mais aussi de votre indéfectible résistance. Je pense à vous, familles ensanglantées, cherchant désespérément les corps anéantis de vos proches. Je pense à vous et je me joins à votre haine face à ces êtres affamés de chair humaine. Ce ne sont plus des hommes, mais des hyènes. Je pense à vous, ô mes amis, et je m'unis à votre attente. I've been thinking about you, my Iranian friends. With you, I shared the torment of exile. You showed me subtle and dainty features of a legendary world in the remote East. I've been thinking about you, marvelous creatures scattered around the world, across the world. Farhad, Moani, Violet, and so many others. Your consistency is a sign of your despair. It shows your unwavering resistance as well. I've been thinking about you, families covered in blood, desperately searching for the crushed bodies of your loved ones. I've been thinking about you, and I share your hatred for those who are hungry for human flesh. They are no longer humans, but hyenas. I've been thinking about you, all my friends, and I have the same expectancy.